Now, I've been asking myself this very interesting question. Why is it that we are always judging other people? Now, you may say you're not judging, that's fine. But let me ask you a question. When you're walking on the road, let's say, and you see somebody out there, there's a tendency on your part to raise a judgment on that person. It can be an innocent judgment, but there's always this protective judgment that we take. You have to ask yourself why. In my opinion, it has nothing to do with what the other person is. This protective judgment is a process of avoidance. It's an automatic avoidance. Because everything that you see around you is kind of intruding into your privacy. So you make a judgment in order to avoid that from happening. So what is the best thing to do? The best thing is to avoid this kind of judgment. We allow the event to take place, and even though it might be intrusive after a while, we just keep it intrusive. And why is that so? Because we follow that intrusion into ourselves and we enter into a deeper state. You may not know this, but this is a fact. That to enter deeper into ourselves, someone else out there must first do it. He apparently out there so that it can become intrusive. So that when you see him, you become intrusive. And then as a result of which you can enter deeper. Judgment is a way which we use to prevent ourselves from getting deeper. We want to sort out the problem at its outer level. We don't want to sort it out at the inner level. But the universe expects us to do that. And it gave us eyes to see events that are outside us, so that it will always intrude into our inner state. And why is it trying to intrude the inner state? There are two reasons. One reason is that you can enter into a deeper place, but there's another very important reason too. Is that the outside and the inside must be balanced. And why? Why has the East to balance with the West? Why has the top to balance with the bottom? And why the outside must be balanced with the inside? The reason is because opposites allow us to enter into a zero state, where we all come from. We spend most of our life at the outer level. And every time we do that, we owe a debt to the internal level. The internal has to balance to this outer, and we therefore have to feel what's inside. And that's why it has to go in. If we don't allow it to go in, matters will get worse. We have to open up the inner level. Whether we like it or not, it has to do so to balance with the outside world. And this is how the universe works. It's an unavoidable thing. Therefore, it is best for us to not to judge another person. Why? Because the universe is giving us those events. We follow the events so that we can enter into a deeper state, and we see what's the deeper state. So that our deeper state and the outer state are balanced, and we find ourselves at peace. We pass a judgment at about anything we see. It's mostly done against our enemy, but it can be on our friend and even a passerby. We may protect ourselves even against our own thoughts. And that's how our judgment on others insulate us from the world. But the more we shield ourselves with our thoughts, the more the thoughts attack us. And alas, before long, you'll find yourself caged in by your own thoughts. Your judgment was originally meant to protect you, but now it has turned against you. And that's why judgment is bad for all of us. To have a happier life, stop this judgment. When you are not happy with what you see or hear, do not pass a judgment against it. Instead, allow these painful thoughts to enter within. It is not easy, but you should try. The deeper these foreign thoughts come into you, it changes its form. It is not easy to understand what is happening, but it's nothing short of a miracle. As these foreign thoughts get nearer to your soul, you will experience forgiveness. You will experience compassion and love like you never had before. You will begin to understand yourself the way you have never understood before. Your thoughts will not clog in you, but instead they will be free flow. You're not caged in, but instead you're totally free to be as you are. We live in a very miraculous world. A world where we can change everything. If we judge someone else, then what will happen is that they will judge us. And it's not about them judging us. We will judge ourselves. But if we free others from our judgment, then we become free too, because we will not receive judgment from others, and our life will be free. If angry thoughts come into our mind, we must allow it to go in. If we don't like this person or that idea, we allow it to go into our mind. It's not easy, not easy. But as we do so, we find the freedom in ourselves. We can forgive. It's all up to us. Some of these ideas which I'm presenting to you in my videos, they may be quite foreign to you. You may not understand what is soul. You may not understand many of these terms which I'm using. Such words like thoughts entering into my presence, you may not quite understand, but it's okay. You need to continue to observe yourself. If you can, meditate. Follow me in my videos as I bring you closer to your soul.